probiotics. I thought I knew a lot until I started to decide to do this research and found out that there's a lot more to know. And in this country, there is a return to probiotics, and what I mean by that is, you know, probiotics have been consumed by all cultures since Adam and Eve, and what happened to the American diet is what changed that in the United States. And it's just beginning to catch back on, and in Europe and Asia, it never went away. And you'll see the difference in the way that they eat by the cultured foods and the cultured dairy products that they continue to use and that we in the United States got away from. And we're not choosing to eat things for our flora. Andy, come on in, you didn't miss much. So in the United States, we tend to turn to foods not necessarily for health, and in these other European and Asian countries, they tend to turn to foods as natural remedies for good health. And we rely heavily on pills and medications here, and I think the idea today would be to listen to this and see that there maybe is an alternative to many medications that you or somebody you know would be taking for simple problems that a good gut flora would be the answer to, way before a medication would be. So what Europe has is yogurts and fermented milks that you here probably think that we have, and in fact we don't. Our most of the yogurts that you see on the shelves will say, lactobacillus, and the different cultures that they put. Acidophilus is sometimes put in. There's a lot of different cultures that can be put into these yogurts, but most of these companies are putting them in, and then they are pasteurizing these yogurts after they have added those to the yogurt, thus killing it again. So it's a great thing to look for on a label, but it's not what you really want. You want to make sure that that label says alive. One of the products that I found that does say alive is Stonyfield. And then Dorothy just shared with me that if you obviously we in New Mexico are not allowed, you might not know this, but we're not allowed to have raw milk here. If you get raw milk here, you have to get it from Texas, and there is some coming in, and I myself purchase it. But a man from Texas has to bring it in, and then you have to meet him, and then it's a big deal. If there's a snowstorm, it is. Seriously, that is how it is. It's in a parking lot. Yeah.
Why no, officer?
And they do watch them too, and they are paranoid. Isn't that something? They do watch them. They do. They know who they are, and they watch them, and they're not doing anything illegal, because what we do is we buy into the herd. So we actually own part of the herd, and that makes it legal for us to get the milk. So
I'm so glad that those policemen are,
I know.
taking time out of their busy catching criminals.
I know.
Red light.
Oh man.
Yeah, so it's
Waiting for our yak to have a baby.
Oh yeah. Do you drink yak milk?
Well, I haven't yet, but
Yeah.
when the baby
you can.
comes, hopefully we'll share it.
Yeah, you can.
What did she say? Milk? Oh,
Yeah,
I thought you
yeah.
said
Oh, I do
cat.
that every time.
He was such a milk like cats.
Got her attention, man.
Oh dear. We digress.
Well, just to extend that, there is also, the law for pasteurization is 185 degrees, and that is still below enough level below to have live cultures. And there is someone at the farmer's market that does pasteurize at that level, and you can buy milk there. They usually run out early, so don't beat me to the guy. I'm not telling you where he is. But Dorothy also shared with us that there is a cream at Sunflower Market that is under that low pasteurization.
Exactly, it's not ultra.
Those all are live. Now, yeah, this is all great, and we definitely want to incorporate that stuff into our diets as often as possible. However, it's not quite enough. You still are going to need to look at supplementation. It's not 12:15. Mel, I'm just going to let them put this down. Because the Europeans and the Asians are still very attached to food being preventative medicine. Even Nestle's makes a particular drink that is live and also has omega-3s for the UK. But since us as Americans are not asking for this, we really aren't, asking enough for what we need. We're not getting it from that same company that, puts other things on the shelves in the United States. We are really left with the need to supplement with a probiotic, eat a probiotic, and eat things that have prebiotics in it. We really are left with that being our best option. I'll give you an example of some of the things that we just talked about, looking for the yogurt. Okay, so now also you want to look for things that are pickled. That's where you get your probiotics. So those things cannot be canned and pickled and put on the shelf because that kills the live bacteria. So you would think, oh, here's Andy.
Are you talking about like kimchi?
Kimchi, but it would have to be refrigerated, Are you going to take care of telling them about how many of us think that our yogurt shelves are live and active cultures, and in fact they are not here in the United States, and to look for alive, and so now we've gone on to pickled foods, which would be things like kimchi, sauerkraut, pickles themselves. And sauerkraut was something that, historically has been eaten on a regular basis in many cultures, and, kimchi being a type of sauerkraut. However, I could only find in the United States 2 brands on the shelves that are actually really alive sauerkraut. And one of them is at Sunflower Market, and it's Bubbies. Bubbies, Bubbies. Another one is Will's Valley, and go right ahead.